Hello, one and all. Welcome to this edition of Kitz Corner. Hope you're in a fantastic day so far. So something interesting happened on Saturday Night Live. And by interesting, I actually mean good, not interesting, cringeworthy, because let's face it, the last couple of years, the last couple of seasons has just been, let's just say it's ruined my experience of growing up with that show. Because I used to watch, clips of it. I used to be that little child that tried to stay up that late on a Saturday night, and I know I wasn't supposed to, and I was supposed to be in bed, but, please, can I just watch a little bit of comedy here? But now it has just been a train wreck after train wreck after train wreck, and it's just almost unwatchable. Most times, it's completely unwatchable. Until recently, because there was one particular moment that was kind of shocking that they would allow this on their program, considering how controversial it is. So recently they had on Woody Harrelson as a guest star, guest host, I should say, not a guest star, guest host. And he revealed something in his monologue that really everyone knows, but network television is afraid to say it. And you'll probably understand what it is. But here's what the controversy of his monologue and how the network is freaking out about this, because he's making claims that something that we already know, particularly about COVID and the vaccines. And I just want to say that whatever this guy is saying, I think they're perfectly safe and effective. They stop transmission, and I think they're a joy to have, and you should consider getting a vaccine yourself. But here's what Woody Harrelson said on Saturday Night Live that made them freak out. Just how crazy this is.
Okay, so the movie goes like this. The biggest drug cartels in the world get together and buy up all the media and all the politicians and force all the people in the world to stay locked in their homes. And people can only come out if they take the cartel's drugs and keep taking them over and over. I threw the script away. I mean, who is going to believe that crazy idea? Okay, so the movie...
Whoever thought, I cannot believe I would live to see the day that the guy from Zombieland, Tallahassee, Woody Harrelson, is going to be the voice of reason. And I know he's trying to make it sound like the whole joke is about a movie pitch that he kind of threw away, and you heard at the end there, like, who's going to believe some mysterious thing like that? Like a big pharmaceutical empire has a stone on us to believe that staying at home and jabbing ourselves with experimental vaccines that aren't properly tested and have been lied and propagandized to, who's going to believe that story? Who's gonna buy into that tale? That, my friends, is beautiful. That, my friends, is what I wish Saturday Night Live would actually do more often. That's the kind of comedy I wish I could see more on television. The kind of way that they, reveal a truth, but then also reveal a truth in a funny way. That's kind of one of the reasons, like, I like The Daily Show, for example, because it tells you news stories, but it was also funny at the same time, so you can actually ingest the craziness of the news, the craziness of politics. And one of the inspirations I have this show is to use comedy and to use my sarcastic tone to present you the news as crazy as it is, as deranged and psychopathic it is. But that was beautiful. That was beautiful. And that was the controversial moment that people started freaking out that Woody Harrelson said a little too much for network television, especially network television that's probably brought to you by Pfizer. But it's amazing that, again, Zombieland, Tallahassee, the guy that played, this is Tallahassee. It probably is Search for Twinkies is telling you the truth about how the pharmaceutical industry has bought out the media and politicians to believe whatever their agenda is associated with. He is the voice of reason, ladies and gentlemen, and that is beautiful. That is absolutely beautiful. Here's also Ryan Knight pointing this out, proud socialist. He says, Woody Harrelson speaking truth to power on SNL. The biggest drug cartels in the world buy up all the media and politicians and force people to stay locked in their homes, and the people can only come out if they take the cartel's drugs over and over again. I mean, he's just talking about a movie script. I don't know what people are thinking. Don't rush to conclusions, okay? You people that are doing your own research and reading up on things. Don't jump into conclusions to think that actually happened. That he's making a joke about the dystopia that we're currently still in right now. He's just talking about a movie script. I'm here to tell you that the vaccines are very safe and effective, as per guidance of YouTube and Google. So then there's also this, that this is pretty interesting. I don't know if he actually said these words, but they are powerful speech here. So let me enhance this a bit. So it says, we live in a completely corrupted world where every government is just a bunch of businessmen working for a bigger bunch of businessmen, and none of them give a shit about the people. The sad fact that is no one knows how to change it because no one knows how to take on the corporations. This is from Woody Harrelson. Woody Harrelson. I mean, I love his work. I love his acting is pretty good. Mind you, I've only seen like a couple of his movies. Zombieland just came to mind. That was the first thing I could think of. I know he's in the show Cheers. I know he was on a couple episodes of Curb Your Enthusiasm that I've seen clips of him on. What was that one? Now I'm just drawing a blank. Where was that one where he's playing a magician and he's trying to hack into a secret account or something? God, I'm drawing a blank. Anyway, if you know it, put it in the comments. Leave me an answer on Twitter. I don't care. But Woody Harrelson, the voice of reason. Tallahassee is the voice of reason. To point out the exact obvious of this situation, that we live in an oligarchy. We live in a corrupted society where we're bought by a bunch of businessmen. As George Carlin always pointed out, it's a big giant club and you and I ain't in it. And that's why I love those people. I love George Carlin. I love Bill Hicks. I love Woody Harrelson. I love people like Jimmy Dore that's calling it out. And I wish more and more people had that stance and stamina and ability and courage to just say, you know what, screw it. I'm just going to say right out in the open exactly what's happening in front of you, ladies and gentlemen, that none of them give a shit about you. Whether you vote red or blue, none of them care about you. Because in the end, it's a corporate duopoly, it's an oligarchy, and all they care about is the money. All they care about is themselves. They're narcissistic sociopaths that are controlling and demolishing the entire world. One person at a time. And of course, this is just random people's views, so let's get into what the mainstream media has to say about this. And particularly Rolling Stone, because this is what's really interesting. So Rolling Stone, the complete fools that they are, and it heartbreaks me that a magazine that's supposed to, be about the music, be about going against the man, you call yourselves Rolling Stone magazine, is going to write stupid shit like this. Where they say Woody Harrelson spreads COVID conspiracy theories during SNL monologue. Conspiracy theories. No. The cartels, the pharmaceutical industries, Pfizer, Moderna, AstraZeneca, they're the ones that are conspiring. We're just analyzing. It's not a theory. It's not a conspiracy theory if it's actually what's happening in front of your eyes. They're the ones that are conspiring. We're the ones just analyzing it. We're the ones that are just telling you exactly what is happening in front of you. It's not a coincidence that every single outlet, news outlet, every single publication is brought to you by Pfizer. It is not a coincidence that they're releasing the fourth and fifth booster shots as they're projecting an $80 billion quarter for profits. It is not a coincidence. It's not a theory. It's actually happening. It's actually happening right in front of your face. And Woody Harrelson has apparently is the only courageous person at SNL at the time to speak about it. To stand up and say, it's happening. This is what's happening. It's not a joke. It's not a movie script. It sounds like it's something made out of Hollywood, but it isn't. We literally currently live in a Dallas Buyers Club nightmare. And if you've ever seen that movie, I highly recommend it. Matthew McConaughey, he starts off as a sex addict, and then he gets AIDS, and then he goes against the governmental machine and the pharmaceutical industry to get treatments that aren't available in the United States. It's kind of the same situation. He went against Fauci. So we kind of live in that similar nightmare. Nobody's put the two and two together. Nobody's able to sit down and critically analyze the fact that this is happening under your nose. But people are just so full of the propaganda that they can't even see it. Here's also this. This is the actual article that was published. Woody Harrelson spreads anti-vax conspiracy during SNL monologue. Host has a history of strange anti-science remarks during the COVID pandemic. I'm surprised they didn't throw in a little racism or misogyny, just to spice up the article. Anti-science. Where exactly is the anti-science part of it? Or is he actually making a scientific thought to think maybe having a huge conglomerate, a pharmaceutical empire, having the ability to have that much money to buy out every single media outlet and politician is dangerous? Maybe he's making an analysis. Maybe he's making a thought, a critical thought. Isn't that science? We're supposed to be critically thinking. That's how science evolves. You question science. You question the narrative. You question what people are saying. And you build upon that. That is science, ladies and gentlemen. And Rolling Stone is being anti-science by writing this article. But they are being pro-propaganda. That's exactly what's happening here. This has been brought to you by Pfizer to tell you that Woody Harrelson pointing out the obvious on an SNL monologue as a joke is apparently dangerous. As deranged and anti-science as it can be. But it's not the first time that this publication has made stupid-ass remarks like this. Remember Eric Clapton? Famous musician Eric Clapton, which, again, I'm disappointed that this publication used to focus on the music. It used to focus on the music, the entertainment. It used to have daring articles that went against the machine. And now since they lost Matt Taibbi, this outlet has just gone to shits. I gotta say that. When they lost Matt Taibbi went on and did journalism elsewhere. He's a great guy. He's a great personality. He's the courageous one of anyone at Rolling Stone. The publication just went belly up because no one's going to believe this garbage. Nobody's going to read this and think that Rolling Stone is edgy. It's an edgy publication to say that Eric Clapton is spouting vaccine nonsense. He's bankrolling on it. Yes. Someone who got the jab and then talked about his injury is apparently making billions off it. As opposed to the billions of dollars that Pfizer has made off of you. Does anyone point that out? Is there an article on that? Is Rolling Stone going to report on the quarter earnings that the pharmaceutical giants have made off you and made off the media and made off the paranoia, the propaganda? Are they going to report on that? God, no. They're not going to say that's bankrolling, but they're going to say Eric Clapton A rock guitarist is somehow a dangerous fella. And even the byline is just absolutely stupid. Eric Clapton went from setting the standard for rock guitar to making full tilt racist rants. Talking about his injury is somehow racist. Talking about him getting a pharmaceutical jab and then his reaction, his own personal symptoms, according to Rolling Stone, is racist. Racist rants is becoming an outspoken vaccine skeptic. Did he change, or was he always like this? How could he be a skeptic if he got the jabs? He got 2 jabs, and then he felt bad afterwards. He was sick. He had problems. He had medical attention that needed to be addressed. He got injured from the vaccine. That should have been addressed. Why are they not addressing that in this article? Because it's brought to you by Pfizer. The exact thing that Woody Harrelson just joked about in an SNL monologue. And why that joke is funny is because it's true. It's hilariously accurate. But even outside of vaccines, this publication, Rolling Stone's just really just hitting the ball on stupidity in reporting. Because not only did they went after Eric Clapton, they went after Roger Waters, for God's sakes. They went after Pink Floyd because Pink Floyd, get this, Pink Floyd wanted peace. Pink Floyd wanted the end to wars. Pink Floyd knew how corrupted the military-industrial complex is. And Rolling Stone, the piece of garbage that it is today, wrote a hit piece on Roger Waters saying he's a deranged musician with controversial views, like the fact that we're sending billions of dollars to neo-Nazis in a corrupted nation in East Europe. Or how about the fact that NATO broke its promise multiple times to the point that Russia intervened? Or how about the fact that we poked the bear first? We're the ones that started this aggression. We're the ones that started this war. We manufactured this war against Russia. And we're using Ukraine as cannon fodder. And how dare Roger Waters, a musician, want peace and to go against the man? It sounds like something, Jimi Hendrix would say. Or someone performing at Woodstock, or musicians from Primal Years. I thought the whole point of being an artist was to be an outsider, to be courageous, to go against the man. But according to Rolling Stone, that makes you stupid. That makes you deranged. That makes you a racist psychopath. To mention about peace. So, thank God for people like Woody Harrelson to step up to the plate and just say out in the open. And I know that's going to hurt him. I know that, there's probably going to be a million zillion articles saying how deranged and how stupid and anti-science that is. To Woody Harrelson, I say just walk with it. Let them have their day. Because the more articles they write about shit like this, the more exposes how deeply corrupted they are. It shows how deeply corrupted Rolling Stone is. How they're failures of how they're failures at journalism. And they have to write trash like this, slamming musicians for being courageous, for going against the machine, going against the oligarchy. It kind of seems like what a rock star would be, or I would imagine a rock star would be. But according to this failing turd of publication, they just want you to be compliant. They just want you to shut up, play the establishment approved music, and not question anything. Don't have courage. Don't have stance. Don't bother holding anyone accountable. Just go with the flow and shut it. Which I'm pretty sure is the new next album for U2. I kid, of course, because I'm actually a fan of U2, but Bono is one of those people. Anyway, that's a different subject. But there you go. Rolling Stone, congratulations. You just put Woody Harrelson on your made-up bullshit attack list.